Good evening all, and welcome to another video on All Hail the Ale. It's Friday night, which means it's alcohol-free night, and the beer we're going for tonight is from WIPER and True. It's this one. It is Kaleidoscope. And Kaleidoscope is a 0.5% ABV pale ale, and it says on the back of the can, an uncompromising low-alcohol take on our flagship pale ale, combining a trio of citra, simcoe and mosaic hops to beautiful effect. This carefully selected blend creates a refreshing kaleidoscope of bright citrus and vibrant fruit flavours, balanced with gentle, clean bitterness. Low alcohol beer done properly. Store and serve chilled, it has been. And our beer is unfiltered and may contain sediment poured gently. Noted. Your ingredients are water, malts, hops and yeast. That's it. So without further ado, let's get it out into a glass and see what we think. So we're pouring into my small beer co glass today. And the pour is very pale. Stupidly so. Bit of an aggressive pour, but a very, very, very carbonated beer. Look at that. It's like those cigarettes from The Fifth Element, where about 90% filter and 10% the rest of it. But yeah, it's pale, hazy, too many bubbles on that glass. There, better. Pale, slightly hazy, very, very big head on it. Yeah, that should be the glass. Let's try and get a whiff. Smells fruity, pineapple, citrus. Well, trying to get hints of whatever else might be there. With mosaic, I'm expecting stone fruit. Maybe a little, but it's well hidden. But no dankness. I do like the dankness that mosaic brings. Maybe there's not a lot of it in here. Anyway, it smells pleasant. So yeah, it looks all right. It smells all right. Let's have a taste. Cheers. Body is light to medium with velvet-like carbonation. It's when you go against the nap of the velvet, it's that slightly spiky. Flavour is light, fruity. It mentions bitterness. It's a little bit light on the bitterness for me, and once that flavour goes, it's quite watery. Fades quite quickly from that fruitiness into, I think, juicy fruit that's been made void of all the flavour. It's a bit of a disappointment, really. Let me go back to what it says on the can. Bright citrus and vibrant fruit. There is some citrus and lightly fruited, bit of pineapple, but balanced with gentle, clean bitterness. I know everyone's palate is different, and I do have a penchant for particularly bitter beers, but this one is really light on the bitter scale. Yeah, they say gentle, clean bitterness. It's that gentle, you would, yeah, even a baby would find it relaxing. The finish is light, clean, slightly dry. Not particularly hoppy, not particularly long. And again, just like over diluted fruit juice. It's such a shame, because that initial hit is quite good, and then it just falls off a cliff with all the flavour. That's a shame. So, Kaleidoscope Pale Ale from WIPER and True. What do I think of you? Well, I think it's pretty clear. Not the biggest fan. But we're going to do, as we always do, we're going to go to the scoreboard of joy and just fill it in. It's currently void of anything. So, red pen of judgment at the ready. Let's top it off, just so we can see. So slightly more gentle pour this time. It's not a bad looking, okay. It's not a terrible looking beer. It's a little bit paler than I would like, but it's a pale ale, so I'll forgive it. And it's got a nice little bit of haze and a fairly loose, see if you can get that up close, a loose white head. So visually, it's all right. I'm gonna give it 0.75. I want to give it more, but that head is just a little bit too loose for my liking. Aroma, it's light to medium in the strength and relatively pleasant actually. I like the pineapple. I like the citrus. Missing some stone fruit, but depends on your hops and the ratios thereof. But I'm liking what I'm smelling, so I'm going to give it a point. The body is light to medium, slightly spiky carbonation, as I mentioned. Otherwise, it's not too bad. Up front, I'm going to give it the 0.75. The taste, though, is one of those. It's exactly like juicy fruit, in as much as you get all the flavour up front and then it just drops off a cliff completely, goes away, and you're left with a real disappointment. That said, up front, you do get that little bit of citrus, a nice little bit of pineapple, but then it's just like diluted squash. And it's, I'm going to give it some points for the initial flavour, but the rest, it's just a no from me. It's a 0.25. On that front. And the finish, again, on a pale ale, I like them hoppy and I like them long. The bitterness, I like it. It's not massively important for a pale for me, but this is neither hoppy nor long nor flavourful. It's disappointing, and that's where I'm going to give it the zilch for the finish, because it's got no redeeming factors for me. You might like it, I don't. So what do we got here? We got 2.5, 2.75 out of 5 from me. So, bonus points. Can't have the full bonus because it did not get 5 out of 5. Value for money, I can't remember what I paid for this one, but no. If it was 50p maybe, but it's probably about 2.50 to £3, something like that, from Wise Bartender. And I think it goes without saying that I would not buy that one again. So yeah, that one is a proper disappointment because everything else I've had from WIPER and True has been really, really good. But the low alcohol Kaleidoscope, not so much. So yeah, just to clarify, 2.75 out of 5 with 0 bonus points. So there we go. You cannot win them all. It's just not possible. And today I've not won. It's a beer that I don't agree with, but don't let that put you off trying it if you haven't already. Because if you like them lighter, if you like them fairly sort of safe, shall we say, then this might be the beer for you. Whereas I like my pales a little bit more punchy and just more of everything. But yeah, so we'll leave it there and say, that's been the beer. I've been me. Those down there are the buttons. You know exactly what to do with them by now. You got your like, comment, dislike, and subscribe. Choose any combination of them as you wish. And I'll see you again soon for another one. Bye for now.